Hello, amazing people. If you're a tutor or a teacher watching this video, then you want to pay special attention to what be going on in the course of this. This has been made to show you how to craft and prepare your lesson notes. In today's world as a teacher, you see the process of digitalization and the access to the internet has made every process to be absolutely seamless. And that includes the process of preparing your lesson notes. So if you're a tutor watching this, one of the things you need to begin to learn to do is to become tech savvy. Tech savvy simply means to learn how to use the internet and the digital tools that are at your disposal in today's world. So I'm going to be showing you how to prepare your lesson notes. To do that, you need a few tools. Okay. One of the tools that we'll be using is a document preparer where we'll be having our text. Okay, to do that, we need Microsoft Word. So this is it over here. And then we need another tool that will give us the material for our lesson notes. And to do that, we're going to be using one of the most popularly known artificial intelligence tools, also known as ChatGPT. So to do that, I'm just going to type a website, chat.openai.com, and wait for it to load. Okay, so while that is loading, I already have my timetable containing the topics that I want to teach on. So the next topic that I want to create a lesson note on is this one over here. And by the way, I teach chemistry online, so I'm just using this as an example because this is actually going to be used in my class. So I have the topic particulate nature of matter, and then the key points: molecules, atoms, kinetic theory, and states of matter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy them. So to do that, Control C, and then I'm going to come over to my AI tool, which is ChatGPT. All right. Now, for those who do not know, the process of using artificial intelligence for your work is actually meant to make your work easier and faster. So watch what I'm going to do. To use ChatGPT, you need to learn to do something called prompting. Prompting is using the right questions and the right words so that you can get the kind of answer that you want. So to prompt, I'm going to type something like, hello there, good morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever time it is, wherever you're watching this video. Hello there, good afternoon. I'd like you to help me out with something. I am an online chemistry tutor. You see, I'm giving ChatGPT some of the informations that it will need to prepare the absolute best material it can get for me. I'm an online chemistry tutor and I have a class that is coming up where I'd be taking the topic. What's the topic? Particulate nature of matter. So I put a full stop there. And then the key points that will be dealt with are molecules, atoms, kinetic theory, states of matter. So one other thing I want ChatGPT to know is the class that I'm going to be taking. So I can type something like this. This class is for the SS1. All right. And then finally, here is something that we need to put in our prompt. I need you to give me the learning objectives and then craft a premium table of contents that will take care of this topic. So here is an example of a prompt that I can give to ChatGPT to give me a table of contents for my lesson notes. So once I do that, I'm going to click on enter and then wait for it to load. So you can see ChatGPT has already given me something that I can work with. So here are the learning objectives. Everything has been set. So here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to come down to the left bottom side. Let me highlight it for you. Over here, you can see there is a button over here. When I click it, that button is going to allow me to copy everything that is there. So what I'm going to do is just copy it, and then I'll come to my Microsoft Word. Remember, I already have a new document over here, and I'm going to paste everything that I just copied. So you can see everything has been pasted. Now, I'm not just going to paste and do garbage in, garbage out. No, ChatGPT is a tool. It is simply meant to make my work efficient and faster. So I'm using it as a tool, not as a replacement for me. So here's what I'm going to do. To make this work have more finesse, I'm just going to add a cover page. To do that, on Microsoft Word, I'll come to the Insert tab and then click on, here is where the Insert tab is. Let me label it over here. Okay, so that's the Insert tab, and then I'm going to click on Cover Page. So I have many options. Okay, I can just choose anyone that I please. So to do that, I'll just pick, let me pick this one. Okay, so I've picked it. So the next thing to do is just to type the document title. The document title is going to be the topic of the lesson that I'm taking. And that topic is particulate nature of matter. So let me go ahead and type it, particulate nature of matter. I might want to do a few tweaks at this point, maybe reduce the font, because I like my topics being a one-line text format. I don't want it occupying 2 lines. It makes it, it just doesn't float my boat. So I might want to make it bold as well. Anything you want to do is up to you. Okay, this is just a template to show you what can go. So I have my topic, and I want to put my name at the bottom. My name is David, by the way. If you're enjoying this video, please do well to like, share with as many people as would need this, and then subscribe, because many more are coming your way. So I have my cover page, and now I have my table of contents. Whatever is coming before these learning objectives are not really needed. So here is where the work is. I just begin to format everything in ways that please me. These learning objectives, I'm kind of going to make it bold, more like as a heading. So I have my learning objectives. By the end of this class, SS1 students should be able to. So first one, define and distinguish between atoms, molecules, and ions. I have that put in place. Explain the concept of the particulate nature of matter. So let me edit this in a way that I like. So I have my learning objectives set out. The next thing is my table of contents. So I'm just going to put this table of contents on a fresh page. To do that, I'll press Ctrl and Enter together. So you can see it's on a fresh page. So I have my table of contents, which will be my lesson outline. So I can just make that bold and centralize it. Now, how do I get the contents for my lesson note? This is where I want you to pay attention. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take, if you see, ChatGPT has done something absolutely noteworthy at this point. It has numbered every section for me. You can see there is over here the introduction. It numbered it number 1, number 2, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to take the first portion, which is number 1. This first portion, which is the number 1, and I'm going to do something very interesting. I want you to pay attention. If you look on your tab, there is something called heading 1 and heading 2 over here. I'm going to explain later on, okay? But for each heading or for each topic that ChatGPT has broken down for me, I'm going to select heading 1. I'll explain it later, but just pay attention now. Well, let me just explain it. The reason why I am making this into a heading 1 is so that at the point point of creating my table of contents, I will not need to be going to all these headings to type them out manually under this place. There is a tool that I'm going to be using and everything will appear automatically. I'll show you. So I'm going to take the first heading, which is the introduction to the particulate nature of matter. This is where it stops. This point that I just highlighted. I'll copy it and then I come to ChatGPT and then I type something like, all right, now the first part to be worked on is the, and then I paste, introduction to the particulate nature of matter. Okay, I can put a full stop over here and type something like, here are the things to be dealt with. And then I click on enter. And then ChatGPT goes to work. ChatGPT will break everything down for me. You can see the topic, the introduction to the particulate nature of matter, concept of matter and its composition. You know, everything has just been brought out for me. So I'm going to copy it. And then the next thing I'll do is come to Microsoft Word over here on my document. I already have the heading, so I'm going to start at the bottom and come over here and then I'll paste it. You can see I've done for the first heading or the first topic. Then I come to the second one and do exactly the same thing. I'll make the topic into a heading 1 and then copy everything under it. And then go to ChatGPT and say something like, all right, the next part to be worked on is, I paste it, atoms, the building blocks of matter, structure of an atom and everything. So at the end of the topic, I can just put a full stop and write something like, here are the things to be dealt with. And then I click on enter. And then ChatGPT goes to work once again. So let me do that for the entire document and then we'll proceed from there. So at this point, I'm done getting the contents for my lesson notes. You can see ChatGPT has done an absolutely amazing job. I have all my headings in place. You can see them in red, big, bold letters. Okay, so I have them from the beginning to the end. Let me just do a quick scroll all through the documents for you to see. I have states of matter, experimental evidence, and what have you. At this point, I'm not done. What I'm going to do is I'm now going to edit my document. To edit my document simply means I'm going to go through every bit of this document. It's just 21 pages, not much, and I'm going to take out everything that is not supposed to be there or that I feel is not necessary for my class. Because let's face it, you're the tutor here. It's your lesson notes. You need to know the material that you're giving to your students from the back to the front. So I'm going to go through everything. For example, you can see this topic over here, the introduction to the particulate nature of matter. Every topic is going to be edited to be a heading 1. If I see anyone that is supposed to be a subtopic, I'm going to make it a heading 2, just like this. All right, so let's do that and then I'll pause the video now to edit my document perfectly and then I'll show you the next step to take. Alright guys, so at this point we have completed everything concerning my lesson notes. So from the beginning, the particulate nature of matter, which is the topic that we'll be teaching, we have the learning objectives. My table of contents, I've not yet prepared that. I'm going to do that in this section of this video. I saved that for the last to show you what exactly you need to do. Look at the topics. Introduction to the particulate nature of matter. There's a subtopic under a composition of matter, why chemistry begins with particles. So much. Now, if you notice, when we began creating this lesson notes, we had 21 pages, but at this point, you can see we have 13 pages. So that just goes to show you the importance of, you know, editing your work and going through every bit of what AI gave to you, because You're the teacher, you know what is necessary and what is not necessary for your students. So everything from A to Z has been prepared. Even my classwork and assignments. Look at everything here prepared. So this is my lesson note. Now the final thing to do before I export this and save it as a PDF that I can share to my students is to prepare my table of contents. So to do that, I'm going to come to this page that I've specifically created for the addition of my table of content. I would want to centralize it and possibly make the heading a bit bigger and bold. So let me go with 18 because I like my headings to be one line. So having done that, I'll just press the enter key, and then I'm going to come to this tab called references. Let me label it for you. This tab here called references. So when I do that, I'll click on it. When I click on references, there are many options that will come up. So you can see over here, table of contents. Okay, so I'm going to click on that as well. When I click on table of contents, it brings up this table. It brings up this dialog box, I beg your pardon. So I have automatic table, automatic table too. So I'm not going to select any of that. I want a clickable table of contents. So I'm going to come to this option that says custom table of contents. Okay, so let me click that one more time. Custom table of contents. So I've clicked that. So it brings out this dialog box. This dialog box is just simply giving me my preferred options of how I want my table of contents to be. So do I want to show the page numbers? Do I want to align the page numbers? If I untick this box for align page numbers, you can see the change that occurs. But if I tick that box for align page numbers, you can see the change that occurs as well. If I don't want the page numbers to show, I untick the box. If I want them to show, I tick the box. So here is another option to use hyperlinks instead of page numbers. This is the one that I prefer. So I don't want to align my page numbers. I don't want to show page numbers. What I want to use is hyperlinks instead of page numbers. What's a hyperlink? A hyperlink is a formatted text that allows you to click on it to take you to a particular destination. So once I do that, I'm just going to click on OK. Now here is my table of contents. Now this table of contents has been made available for me because all my topics and my subtopics were made into heading 1 and heading 2. Remember at the earlier part of this video, I talked about the importance of doing that. So having my table of contents over here, I can just do a bit of tweaks. I can make it bold. I can increase or change the font. I usually like to make my table of contents blue because usually clickable text comes in that color. So I can make it bolder, or I can increase the font size. Let me make it 14. Alright, so at this point I can say I'm done with my table of contents. So how do I navigate? I can simply navigate my table of contents by coming to any topic or subtopic. I hold my control button and then I click on it. It takes me exactly to that point. You can see it brought me to the introduction of the particulate nature of matter. I can come to anyone, let's say this states of matter now. I just hold my control button and I click on it. It takes me to the part of the document where I have states of matter. So that's it for this video. I hope you learned a thing or two about preparing your lesson notes. The world in which we live in today is now digitalized, and we have a myriad of tools that have been made available for you to make your work as a teacher and a tutor seamless. I'm David, the billionaire teacher. I teach chemistry online, and I also show you as a teacher how to escape the rat race by scaling your income and your impact. If you enjoyed this video, please do well to subscribe, like it, and share with someone who might find this very helpful. Until I come your way next time, stay safe and God bless. Oh, and before you go, just one more thing. In order to save this into a document format that I can share, I'll just click on Ctrl S. Then on Microsoft Word, this option for save as is what I'm going to use. So I just click one folder where I want it to be saved to. I usually like to save it in my documents. So I'm going to name it particulate nature of matter, particulate nature of matter lesson notes. So under the next dialog box, what type of document do I want to save it as? I want to save it as a PDF because I want to be able to share it to my students. So once I do that, I'll just click on the save button and it's going to export my document as a PDF that I can share to my students. So you can see it exported as a PDF. And even as a PDF, my table of contents is still clickable. You can see once I remove my mouse from my table of contents, it becomes a cursor. But once I hover my mouse over it, it becomes a hand that can click. So anywhere I click on my table of contents, it's going to take me there. So that's it for this video. Do enjoy yourself. God bless you.